We're talking about ultra premium whiskey.
Okay.
And I think you're going to find this pretty interesting because this is not your typical bottle you pick up at the liquor store.
Right.
We're talking about a bottle that costs about 8 lakh,
Wow.
which is, if you're thinking US dollars, that's about $10,000.
That's a lot for a bottle.
It is.
Yeah.
So the question is, what could possibly make a bottle of whiskey worth that much?
I know, right?
You know?
Like, what makes it so special?
Yeah, so we're talking about the Glenlivet Winchester Collection. 50 years old.
Ooh, that sounds fancy.
It does. It sounds very fancy. And it's only 150 bottles in the entire world.
That's crazy.
It is. So, when you think about, limited edition, items,
Yeah.
whether it's, a car or a watch or a piece of art.
Right.
This
It's
is
like that.
It's like that for whiskey.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm curious, what is it about something like this that drives the value? I mean, is it just the taste?
I think it's a combination of things. You have the taste, of course.
Mm.
That's, ultimately what you're going to be experiencing.
Yeah.
But there's also the scarcity, the fact that there's only 150 bottles worldwide, that automatically makes it incredibly valuable.
Right.
And then there's also the craftsmanship, the history behind it, the legacy of the brand. All of these things contribute to its value.
Okay, so let's dig into that a little bit, starting with the age, 50 years.
50 years.
That's older than
I know.
a lot of our listeners probably.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, what is 50 years in a cask? What does that actually do to the flavor?
So every year that the whiskey sits in those oak casks, it really is adding layers of complexity and character.
Right.
The wood itself imparts flavors,
Mm.
things like vanilla spice, sometimes even like hints of dried fruit.
Right.
And then over time, you have evaporation happening. And that concentrates the liquid that remains, which makes the aromas more intense, the flavors more pronounced. So it's really like a symphony of flavors that you wouldn't find in a younger whiskey.
Interesting. And you also mentioned, the craftsmanship.
Yes.
So could you tell me a little bit more about that?
Glenlivet has a very rich history, and this bottle really embodies that. They use traditional techniques. They select the finest barley, the purest spring water.
So they're not cutting corners here.
Absolutely not. And then there's the cask selection. I mean, that's really an art in itself. The master distiller, they handpick these casks that have been maturing for decades.
Wow.
And each cask brings its own unique character to the final blend. So it's really a level of dedication that you rarely see.
Okay, so I'm starting to see the picture here.
Yeah.
It's like a vintage Rolls-Royce